Welcome back, statue aficionados. Spaces shape behavior. They influence focus, mood, and creativity. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the environments we surround ourselves with on a daily basis. Following the evolution of the cave, the office became the next inevitable refinement. I wanted to not only repurpose my existing stockpile of Vestas, but to also double the office as a secondary video studio, to bring to fruition my vision of a clean, crisp, relaxing atmosphere, to conduct business in a well-modulated editing environment. Now, let's get into it.
Unlike my statue cave, the office serves a different psychology. This is a space of function, creation, and mental clarity, where productivity and atmosphere must coexist. This upgrade was never driven by dissatisfaction, but by refinement, aesthetic alignment, and presentation, because over time, even highly functional solutions can begin to feel visually transitional. Before this upgrade began, this room told a much older story. Long before large-scale statues entered the collection, this space was filled with the things I grew up with. Transformers, Spawn figures, the old McFarlane movie maniacs. Pieces that started showing up when I was a teenager and somehow never stopped arriving. 2 IKEA Kallax shelves carried most of it, lit warmly like a small museum of nostalgia. Even the desk, custom built and topped with a marble slab, slowly became a landing place for individual statues and collectibles. This room has always served 2 purposes: part office and part time capsule. And like every good upgrade, it begins with a little chaos. Before anything new could come in, everything had to come out. Every figure, every piece, every shelf. Carefully packed away for now. Collectors know this feeling very well. The strange moment when your room suddenly looks unfamiliar. And here we are, halfway through the process. The room sits in this strange in-between moment. One shelf still holding on to the past, the other already erased. It's the visual line between what the room was and what it's about to become.
I gotta get a pump.
Yeah, take a moment.
Back downstairs, the Vestas performed exceptionally. They were reliable, versatile, and purposeful. But rather than replacing them, I'm going to repurpose them, extending their utility into a new environment. Now comes the part collectors rarely show, the heavy lifting. These cabinets made the journey up 2 full flights of stairs, 1 piece at a time. Not exactly glamorous work, but every collector knows. Great displays are built long before the statues arrive.
Yeah, buddy! Wait!
Much like my statue gallery, this phase was not so much about construction, but composition. Before assembling anything, I spent time exploring the layout, different display configurations, different lighting directions, even the idea of integrating a large central screen. Because a room like this isn't just about storage, it's about presence, how the pieces feel in the space, and how the room itself tells the story of the collection. Configuration became the defining decision: balance, weight, and symmetry, allowing the architecture to feel intentional rather than assembled. The final schematics became less about immersion and more about precision. Clean lines, visual breathing room, architectural clarity. A refinement of my surroundings and to encompass a new secondary studio for filming. Next came the lighting. Lighting within a workspace carries a different responsibility, less theatrical and more cognitive. With the cabinet's position, the real customization began. This is where the room starts to transform. Wiring was hidden, channels installed, and illumination carefully placed so each shelf feels intentional. Good lighting doesn't just show statues, it gives them the atmosphere they deserve. Once the structure came together, the room finally started to reveal its direction. The Vesta units forming a continuous display wall, the central TV acting as both a visual anchor and a filming backdrop. Even the black glass tops add a subtle reflective layer, giving this display a little more depth. And finally comes the moment every collector waits for, when the lights turn on and the room finally becomes what you imagined. The statues return to the shelves, each one finding its new home in the layout. Even the corner unit received a custom touch, a double Besta topped with illuminated glass. The result? A room that still works as my office, but now feels like a gallery as well. A place where the collection doesn't just sit, it lives. Finally, function returns, but within an environment designed for clarity, with balance and sustained creative energy. And
I've never been more shocked.
as a further repurposing step, I also transitioned my custom-made table into my paint booth and utilized this double Besta setup I created with an illuminated tabletop as well as the backlit glow for it.
Alright, so that's the transformation. What started as a room filled with pieces I grew up collecting has now evolved into something a little different. The space is still my office. It's still where I edit the videos, answer emails, and do my regular work during the day. But now, when I sit here, it also feels like a gallery. Every statue has its place. The lighting brings them to life, and the room itself finally feels like it reflects the passion behind the collection. And that's really the goal with something like this. Not just to store statues, but to build an environment where you actually enjoy spending time. Because at the end of the day, collecting isn't really about how many pieces you own. It's about how those pieces make you feel when you walk into the room. And as always, keep your passion for collecting alive and your love for superhero stories.